So we think healthcare is going to become much more individualized, personalized, and this is something you heard in the telecom bubble. We weren't ready back then. The technologies weren't ready, and they were way, way, way too costly. Now that sequencing technologies are dropping below $200 for one person, we think that the genomic or the multi-omic revolution is ready for prime time.
In this recent interview at Camco Invest with Cathie Wood, we learn about the transformative power of artificial intelligence in revolutionizing healthcare and transportation, the fierce competition in the electric vehicle and autonomous mobility space, and Bitcoin's emerging role as a groundbreaking digital asset poised to redefine global finance. Cathie Wood offers unapologetic insights on how disruptive technologies are reshaping industries and how investors can capitalize on these seismic shifts. Before we begin this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Now let's hear more from Cathie Wood.
I think that the most bureaucratic industries are probably going to adopt AI a little more slowly. And so you can put into those categories, and maybe I'm influenced by the US, but the government sector, education, which is part of the government sector in many ways, and healthcare. Now, the government sector, interestingly, yesterday, Elon Musk of Tesla and heading up DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, along with Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, suggested that the government ledger should be put on a public blockchain. So if that happened, we'd see incredible transparency, more security, as they're finding a lot of holes in the security, certainly at Treasury in the United States, and arguably more efficiency in a peer-to-peer ecosystem. I think the defense sector is where that all started. And if you're hearing all the publicity out of our defense sector, it hasn't passed an audit, I think, in 7 years. So it has a long way to go. But in terms of Palantir's role, and this would be true of any large corporation, I think Palantir will do very well in very bureaucratic parts of organizations. It is, and it started in the government sector because our government was beginning to feel that it was lagging behind in AI from a defense and national security point of view. So what Palantir does for the Defense Department and increasingly more of the government, as well as for any corporation, is it gets them ready for the new AI age. It takes a few years to do that. It helps companies and governments really collect far-flung data, clean it up, centralize it, integrate it, map out in excruciating detail work processes. It calls ontologies, and then delivers efficiencies that are astonishing. For example, in the hospital sector here in the Tampa Bay region, Tampa General Hospital adopted Palantir, and it got a taste of it. And now it's going full throttle, realizing that it wants to be on the leading edge of technologies, all kinds of technologies in healthcare. And it is showing the way for other hospitals as well. So if you'll notice, Palantir does not really advertise. This is word of mouth. It's technology word of mouth, much like Tesla. Tesla in the early days did not advertise, and to this day advertises very little, except for maybe on X, Musk's own platform. But I think there's a contagion effect here, a word of mouth, and if we don't get our act together, we risk falling behind. Any corporation is probably thinking that way now.
As we just heard Cathie Wood discuss how artificial intelligence is reshaping industries by boosting productivity and enabling autonomous solutions. Now let's hear her elaborate on the competitive dynamics in the electric vehicle market and the revolutionary potential of Bitcoin as a digital asset. Her bold perspectives challenge conventional wisdom and inspire investors to rethink what's possible in our rapidly evolving financial landscape. Now let's listen to what Cathie Wood has to say.
I probably mentioned during my last conversation with you, Faisal, that my professor, former professor from USC and friend, Art Laffer, who's well known for the Laffer curve, said to me when we first started looking at Bitcoin in 2014 and 15, he said, and we collaborated with him on our first paper called Bitcoin. Can it serve the three roles of money? When he understood what it was, he said, this is what I've been waiting for since the US closed the gold window in 1971. So that's more than 50 years ago. This, he believes, and we believe, is the first digital, global, private, meaning no government oversight, no throat to choke, decentralized, and perhaps most important, rules-based monetary system in history. That is a very big idea. Now, what's happening is the developed world is adopting Bitcoin from a reserve point of view faster than we expected. US is proposing putting Bitcoin into the Treasury's reserves. Now, of course, El Salvador has done that. We expected emerging markets to really start, but developed world's coming on. So that's very interesting. Also, institutions understand that this is a new asset class. And as fiduciaries, we all need to understand assets that have low correlations, whether we're talking about risk and returns, to other assets. Bitcoin is that. We did a paper called Bitcoin Ringing the Bell for a New Asset Class in 2016. We view it as a monetary system that involves a currency that over time could be used not only for store of value, but means of exchange. Now, it hasn't worked in El Salvador, and maybe it won't work. So store of value, absolutely. But a monetary system, very importantly, like gold, in some ways, serves that store of value. It's one of the most important roles. But we also think this new asset class is a very important role, and institutions, only now that our SEC has turned more friendly, institutions now are considering allocations to Bitcoin, which we think is the most secure of all of the crypto assets out there. It is backed by the largest computer network in the world. It would be very difficult to hack into it. So you've got not only a monetary system, a new asset class, and a technology. Now, I don't know if Bitcoin would be the right blockchain technology for the government to use if it were going to put all of the government's transactions on the system. Probably wouldn't be, but it could be. Let's see what happens. Of course, Elon has been a fan of the crypto asset Doge, D-O-G-E. That's why he named the government efficiency Doge. So that may have something to do with this. Doge is a fork of Bitcoin, interestingly. And while we believe Bitcoin is the real deal in terms of this global monetary system, you never know what this fork of Bitcoin might accomplish.
To watch the full interview, check out the link in the description. Cathie Wood shows us that AI is not just a tool, but a transformative force in healthcare and mobility, that the electric vehicle sector is set for a major shift as competition intensifies, and that Bitcoin is emerging as a secure, decentralized asset that could redefine treasury reserves. We would love to hear your thoughts on some questions. How can investors harness AI's disruptive power while managing market uncertainties? Will Bitcoin's integration into institutional reserves revolutionize global finance? Thank you for tuning in to Only the Savvy. If you enjoyed this discussion, please subscribe, like, and share our video for more engaging content exploring the innovative world of decentralized technologies. Thanks for watching. Help support this channel and receive exclusive offers from one of our partners located in the description. We'll see you on the next one.